Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And I have brought 3 books with me today. I brought A Time to Be Free, Daily Meditations for Enhancing Self-Esteem, and the Daily Book of Positive Quotations, which I read today's meditation, so I'm thinking about reading yesterday's meditation since I didn't make a video. And then I also brought the Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff book, in case we get done with those 2 meditations and I still want to read something. So I thought we would start with the Daily Book of Positive Quotations, May 5th. I have not read this meditation yet. I didn't read it yesterday. Our responsibility. Treat the earth well. It was not given to you by your parents. It was loaned to you by your children. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. Native American proverb. We are here for a very short time, guests only on this planet, not its owners, and we should act as any good guest would act in someone else's home. It is our duty to treat the earth well and to leave it in a way that future generations can enjoy what we have enjoyed. There are many things I can do to help preserve the earth, from turning the lights off when I leave a room to recycling cans and bottles. These may seem insignificant, but if everyone acted in this way, it would make a huge difference. So this is kind of an interesting meditation. It's very, I think, pointed, at obviously, the environment and things like that. I can remember, I had a conversation last year, so for many of you that know, I judged a pageant last year, and I got to be on this panel of judges that were just amazing people, and we became really good friends. And I was talking to this guy one day, and he was asking me why I became a vegetarian, which I'll share with you in just a second. And he was like, that's interesting because of the reasons why we started recycling. And I said, well, why did you start recycling? And he goes, well, we started, like several years ago. And he said, I would watch these documentaries and they would talk about, and I know that there's a lot of speculation about how true this documentary is, but like The Inconvenient Truth, if you've seen that, where it talks about like how we're really affecting the environment, which I have to say as a side note, like some of these pictures that you see over like, I think it's, cities in China that you can see like the blue skies for the first time, or Tokyo, or I think, or something like that. And then like the canals in Venice, because people aren't working and factories aren't working. It's like like the earth is cleaning itself up, which is amazing to me and miraculous, just to see the effect that we actually really do have on the world. But, he said to me, when I realized that my children weren't going to enjoy some of the same things that I have been able to enjoy as, living on this earth, because those things would be gone or they wouldn't be able to enjoy it in the same capacity, it made me start realizing there are things that I could do to help that. And so we were talking about this, and people ask me all the time, why did I become a vegetarian? And I have to say, I'm not the healthiest vegetarian in the world, but so it's not for health reasons, obviously, I'm probably the heaviest I've ever been right now, and I'm a vegetarian. But when I started it 2.5 years ago. It was August 1st, 2 years ago. And so it'll be 3 years this August. And the first year I thought a lot about like, well, maybe I won't be a vegetarian anymore. But I honestly never think about it anymore. I mean, it's just like second nature to me, And so when I first started, I had been a vegetarian before and I wanted to start it again. So I went in and I watched these like very like hardcore propaganda videos. I know that they're propaganda videos. I'm not an idiot. Like the PETA ones and stuff. But I think it was the PETA one that was like 3 or 7 minutes long. And it said in there that, the less meat byproducts that you're eating, the more you are, and I have to tell you, I'm somebody, and all my friends and family know this, I am not a preachy vegetarian. Like, if somebody's eating a steak next to me, that's their business. I don't preach about it. I don't try to tell somebody. I mean, most people in my life know that I'm a vegetarian, but they forget because I never say anything about it, right? So these aren't the kind of conversations I have, with people often. But I watched this documentary, and it was talking about how, like, if you just give up eating meat for 30 days, just 30 days, that's all I tried when I went into it, that you are greatly minimizing your carbon imprint on the world because of the factories for the meat. And I thought, just one person, I'm not having any kind of impact. And then I thought, but what if 10 of us did? Or what if 5 of us? Or what if 100 of us all watched this video or all had the same idea that just for 30 days, 30 days, 100 people would maybe make some kind of impact on the world, I would hope. And so that's kind of how it started for me. You guys know I'm like looking at my dogs right now. Boo is right here and Tucker's right over here sitting down. He's so sweet. And, you know, like, here, I'll show you. Oh, Tucker, don't move. He was sitting down over there. Okay, come on. Come over here, buddy. Boo Radley, you want to come up in the video? He said, I want to be in the video. I was watching somebody's video. I don't know who it was, but I think it was Jenna Marbles. And she said something in there about, somebody asked her why she was a vegetarian. And she said, I couldn't eat my pets, you know, because they have souls and they have personalities. And I started looking at, you know, I mean, I obviously was somebody that could say the same thing, but would I make excuses when it was a chicken or, you know, whatever? And then that affected even stronger into me doing it, you know, into wanting to put good, at least good positive thoughts out there in the world and, you know, be more, I don't know, granola oriented, so to speak, you know. I will say that when I originally thought about being a vegetarian, I honestly thought it would be like salad, these great salads every day with chickpeas and, you know, bean sprouts and all this kind of stuff in it, which I guess I could still make, you know, and like granola for breakfast with blueberries and like, you know, almond butter and all this kind of stuff. But I don't eat that way. I eat, like, y'all know I eat horrible, okay? I eat like just crap I should not eat. So, but that was how I originally wanted to eat. And I really am a believer that, so I'm going to try to start eating healthier. I am a believer that, like, we are to some degree what we put into our body. And if I was eating healthier like that, then I probably would feel better on a daily basis. So, you know, I think that this meditation, excuse me, has a lot to say for it, you know, and it's like, what are we doing, you know, as far as like recycling and stuff? It was funny because I did a review video the other day. I can't even remember what it was, but someone said, Peter, you have to recycle that. And we do. We have like a recycle and a trash can thing over there in the same place. And so it's like split, if you know what I mean. But I said I was like throwing it away. But like those are the things that are simple to do. You know, turning lights off in the house is like a huge part of it, you know. And, you know, not having lights on, you know, like around the house all day long, or, you know, just little simple things that you can do. And I think it's made a huge difference. You know what I mean? Recently, I've been trying to drink less bottled water. And we have like I've been using like a reusable Starbucks cup. Not that I will never buy, that I won't buy another bottle of water again, because I will when I'm out sometime, you know. But I've been trying to do less of it and less of it. And we have like one of those pure things in our refrigerator. We have two actually. One, Alex uses like this big tub, and then I use a smaller pour pitcher, so I know how much water I've drank in a day. And, you know, I feel like it's just little things that we can do to make a difference on a whole. And I would encourage anybody, just try something. Just try it for a week or 30 days, you know, not being a vegetarian, but recycling, or, you know, drinking, you know, not bottled water, or doing, just you Google what are 20 things that I can do to help the environment. And trust me, there's probably at least 1 or 2 things on there that you can do. And it will make you feel better too if you do that, you know. All right. My allergies. Oh my Lord. Okay, let's get into the next meditation. May 6th, this is from the book, A Time to Be Free, Daily Meditations for Enhancing Self-Esteem. May 6th. Affirmation. I love affirmations. You guys know if you watch my vlog. Just when I think I have reached a plateau on my spiritual journey, I am led to challenging new terrain. Just when I think I have reached a plateau on my spiritual journey, I am led to challenging new terrain. When I look back, it is gratifying to see the many peaks and valleys I have already crossed. What means even more are the ever-deepening levels of self-knowledge I have gained along the way. Getting in touch with my inner self by identifying and sharing with others has brought about the death of alienation and the birth of fellowship. Exploring every corner of my past and present with a fearless self-survey has provided me with a roadmap for future action and correction. Admitting the truths I have discovered and the secrets I have uncovered has brought relief that is indescribable. Unburdening myself to another person and to God has opened wide the door to trust and self-forgiveness. Because of the many ways self-discovery has thus far enriched my life, I look forward with great anticipation to what lies ahead. I look forward to new frontiers and new horizons. Thought for today: there are no boundaries to self-discovery, nor are there limits to its rewards. I think this is a good example how many meditations can be used as affirmations, you know, and I say in my vlog every night, I say at the end, you know, at the end of the day, you know, say to yourself, I love you, you're a valuable person, you're a good person, you matter, you are worthy of good things. And then I say to do the affirmation that tomorrow is going to be a good day, that you're going to be happy, joyous, and free all day long. And, I say to say the same things in the morning when you get up, to say, like, I love you, you're a valuable person, you matter, you're important, you're valuable, you are worthy of love, you're a good sister, good brother, good husband, whatever you want to say, good wife, good partner, good employee. But then to also say I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day today. And if I'm not, then I can start my day over whenever I want. But the other part to that, I think, is that a lot of these could be really valuable affirmations, when it's like whatever comes. So basically the affirmation from this is whatever comes my way, I'm going to see it today, not as an obstacle, but as a challenge to get over and to learn from. And I think that when we change the language by how we see things in the world, just that turn right there, like when something, comes our way, are we going to see it as this difficult obstacle that we can't get over? Or are we going to look at it as a challenge, I think the last, 6 weeks to 2 months have been a challenge for many of us. I think many of us are probably wallowing in complaint and negativity and just every day, woe is me, woe is me. But what are the positive things that could come from it too? Like I've talked about that on here, like having been at home for the last 2 months has been really, really positive for me, and in some ways. And, Alex went back to work this week. Tuesday was his first day back. And it was really, really hard for me. I mean, I was crying the night before. I was like, I'm going to really miss him being at home, There's been a lot of positives that have come out of this. So, and I think it's forced me to be more self-motivated, and which I've really struggled with in the last, 2 months, because when Alex is sitting there watching Netflix and I just want to lay in bed and hang out with him or sit outside with the dogs or whatever, like it's really hard to be like, okay, you have all these videos you want to make today, sit down and make the videos, you're working on a book, sit down and write, so it's been hard for me. But it's forced me to really realize how I need to be more self-motivated as well. So, we can see things as obstacles or we can see them as challenges, and I think like, I have friends of mine that do these like 30, 60, 90 day like weight loss challenges or exercise challenges and stuff like that, Very few of them see them as like, I can't do it. Like they see them as challenge. In fact, they call them challenges. Have you guys seen these on Facebook? You know what I'm talking about. When people call them challenges. And I always think that's very cool, So what are you going to challenge yourself to? What is something that you've been wanting to do that you're going to challenge yourself to instead of seeing it as an obstacle or as something that you can't do? Change the language. Often when we change the language to something, just one sentence, it makes a world of difference, I think, for example, in recovery, often, when I change the word from I to we, I all of a sudden feel part of something. And that's just 2 letters that I'm changing, right? When I change it from I to we, I suddenly feel like a bigger part, like I feel part of something bigger than me. And so when we change the language that we use and how we see things, so think about that. If you've got like a mantra in your head that you're complaining over and over and over about something, think to yourself, is there another way that I could be saying this, that I didn't have to complain to myself every single day, that there's a different way that I could be communicating this to the world, instead of just complaining about it, and see if there's some kind of other language that you could use. And if there is, then use that instead, because you'll probably be more successful. Oh, that was the other thing I want to say in here is, it just pulled up blamers and martyrs. That's interesting. The quote, but it's getting ready to go into a new section. And so it's said on here before, success and achievement. And this is a quote by Henry David Thoreau. Why should we be in such desperate haste to succeed and in such desperate enterprises? If a man does not keep pace, see, this is how it could completely change a sentence. If a man does not keep pace, or if a man does not keep peace with his companions. If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. And I think in talking about this journey, that we're on, I think that's really, really important too. These obstacles and these things. I for so much of my life have compared myself to other people and been like, but why them? I always feel like I'm behind because if I got sober at 22 and that set me back and things like that. No. My journey is just different than everybody else's. And once I was able to accept that, and I was able to accept that my journey doesn't look the same as yours, and you're going to learn different things, and God bless you for that. That's awesome that you're going to learn some things and I'm going to learn some things, and maybe we can share those things. And my life doesn't have to look just like yours, and nor would I want it to, and nor would you want your life to look just like me, Often, I have to say, when I have idolized people and looked up to them, and then I've gotten to know them, I thought to myself, there's a lot about their life that I'm not sure that I would want, I'm thankful for my own journey today. Sometimes it's not the best journey in the entire world, but I'm thankful for it. It's mine, you know? And I think the other thing is, you know, when we talk about successes of our own journey, that I remember my mom had a lot of guilt over my using back in the day, you know? And I said to my mom one time, she said, but if I had done this and if I had done that, maybe you wouldn't have ended up using, maybe you wouldn't have ended up, you know, an addict. And I said, Mom, that's not fair. And I said, and the other thing that's not fair about that is that if you take ownership over all of the negative choices that I made in my life, then you also have ownership all over my successes. And that's not fair because I've worked my butt off for my successes and that's mine. Those are mine, right? So it's about taking ownership back over your life again, and I'm all over the place, so I'm gonna end it now, but those were good meditations. I liked those. Anyway, I hope you guys are staying healthy. I hope you're staying safe and sane. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.